How it says live for me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
No.
there we go. Yeah.
Hey.
Monopoly?
Monopoly.
Oh yeah, I got to be proficient in one board game.
Yep. And he chose
So you're
Monopoly.
proficient in Monopoly.
Alright, someone roll a 1d8 before we get into this shizzle.
Vince or Tom, do it.
Yeah, new
Oh,
question.
Tom.
Good start.
Tom
Good start.
almost rolled the edgy dice on his first game. That would have been
Oh my
impressive.
god, then he would have been banned from it.
Goodbye, guys.
We'll be using
it was
those
nice
days.
knowing you.
Oh, I should probably get the wild magic table up.
Yes. Yes, you should. So,
Oh, I'm excited.
allow me to introduce some changes that have happened to the cast and crew. So, to those of you watching, spoiler free, something happened last 2 weeks ago. And it caused us to take a bit of a break. And two of our players have decided that their lives are too busy for this session, so they have dropped out. And instead, we have our good friends Vince and Tom here. So we'll go around and you guys say who your name and who you're playing and what they are. So we'll start with Tom.
Alright, my name is, as Nick said, Tom, and I'm playing Sakar, a Kenku cultist of the Abyssal Guardians.
Okay.
He's a evil divine soul sorcerer.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. We're gonna go to Alex next.
Okay, cool. I was here before, but I was here before. I will be playing Mumira Tumtung, and I'm playing a new class that we've got called the Crimsomancer, and I'll be playing the Siphon subclass of it. So there's gonna be lots of new mechanics that I'm gonna have to ask for clarification on a couple of them when they actually come into play.
So please be patient. This is a custom class we've been working on for a while, and this will
Made
be
by our very own DM.
yes, this is made by me, so it's probably gonna be terrible or OP as hell. We'll see.
Cool.
Yes.
Either way, it's fun.
I've been screening a couple of this, so I do kind of know what I'm doing here. I have been with the process of making this class, but this is Nick's baby. Essentially, this is his whole shebang.
It's funny because I have no interest in like ever playing one. But, anyways,
I did.
Justin.
Hello, I am Booker Silentmane, a wild magic sorcerer that comes from a family of wild magic sorcerers. All of us kobolds.
As you can tell by his art. And then we move on to Vince.
Hey, that's me.
Welcome, Vince.
I'm Vince, and I'm going to be playing Matthias Villatrin, an abyssal tiefling who's currently a refugee from his own family as it got overtaken by demons, and he's currently trying to figure out how to essentially remove them and get his family back.
And what class is he?
Oh, College of Swordsman.
There you go. Alrighty. So now that we got ourselves introduced, I should preface this art is not ours at all. I don't know who originally drew them, but all credit to that. I do actually know Vince's because he just drew it 30 seconds ago. So credit to Vince for drawing that awesome art. But
Just wait, next week
soon.
I'm gonna draw my own.
Started a competition.
I'm gonna hope I'm gonna draw Mumiras at some point.
If you survive.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's probably a good
soon,
specification.
TM. So, without further ado, let us begin.
Some D&D.
Previously, unseen to anybody, but you all know, you had recently completed a quest, and you were successful. You traveled great distances and into various adventurous areas and recovered an item. It is a like weird, sort of like bluish stone that your patron, a Sir. Oh God, I always mispronounce his last name because it's ridiculous. Mr. Tim Babbleblim. A rotund human man in Advencia, based in Advencia, who had hired you all. And once retrieving this, you also found a map, seemingly written by an ancient scholar, and it details a weird tomb up north, slightly into the Badlands. After achieving this, you all are resting at your house, whatever you choose to name it if you do, and are currently in the common area celebrating over a pint, as they would say. And that's where we're going to pick up. So you guys are celebrating, having a party.
Mm-hmm.
How about we settle this over a pint?
I thought that was gonna be
I'm
Booker's
gonna
fucking
damn it,
voice, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I was like, oh my god, yes.
I was like, oh boy.
I was so excited.
No.
Yeah, Momiro will kind of stand there as she grabs her pint glass, looks down at it, takes a gulp, and will just kind of nurse it like she would coffee.
Okay.
Booker's gonna down that shit.
Alright, you instantly just... Goosh.
Just screaming in Draconic.
Anyone who understands Draconic can understand his babbling.
I think I do.
Fantastic.
I do indeed speak
I'm
Draconic.
screaming the word power in Draconic.
The best! The best!
The best!
What about you, Sakar? What are you doing?
Sakar just orders like the strongest whiskey that these people have, and he just takes a big old gulp of it and goes, "Oh, I needed that."
How strong is the whiskey that we have?
Well, luckily for you, you don't have to pay for it, because it's yours. You're in your
Awesome.
house after all. So you just pull out like some dwarven whiskey that you had in the back, and it is strong as fuck.
I smelt that. I almost died. At least I thought
It would
so.
go right through you.
Yes, it would.
Not sure what would be left behind. Let's try
Confidence
it.
and power.
I go over to try and pour a glass of whiskey for Booker.
Why do you do this to me? But sure.
Alright,
And I hand him the glass of whiskey.
make a con save, Booker. Alright, you throw up.
Ah, damn it.
Like,
Oh, it didn't even
instantly.
go through at all.
No, it like goes down and it like sears and burns, but it's not the good kind of burn, for you at least, because it's a lot more powerful than like something you're used to. This is something dwarves drink who can drink alcohol all fucking day, and you just all back out.
I
Damn the
open
wild
my,
magic.
I open my journal and I make a note not to give Booker whiskey.
You do. Matthias, what are you doing?
Matthias, for the most part, is probably gonna be... He's gonna probably be enjoying his own drink, but he's definitely got his horn on the table, considering playing it.
Okay, alright.
Oh, horn. I thought you meant like, as in like the horns on your head.
It just
Like,
pointed
Booker,
down.
like on the fucking table drinking.
He does that scene from Hellboy where he like breaks off both his horns and like throws them. We're all like, whoa.
Oh.
We're like,
So, as you guys are having this celebration and thinking to yourselves, almost like a, you know, like that ringing you get in your ears?
When someone's talking about you.
Yeah, no, like a, it's like a kind of a noise, like
Yeah,
a really
someone's
loud
talking,
noise.
But you can't hear them.
Oh, I didn't know that reference.
Oh yeah, it's an
But-
old wives' tale. If there's ringing in your ears, it's someone's talking about you, and depending on which ear is whether or not it's good or bad.
No wonder why I can never hear out of my ears. Anyways,
so tinnitus. We all got
tinnitus. Yes. And as that appears and you all kind of like close your eyes and cringe almost, you hear static and then a voice in all of your heads at once. Cattle, rodents, and mites. All that can hear this rejoice, as a new day is dawning. This realm belongs to the Baron of Bloodshed, and I, as his herald, are being generous and giving a chance. If you wish to join our ranks, let it be known, the first of us you see. And trust me, you'll know. And you will join the glorious armies of madness. If not, well, let your blood sate my lord. And then that ringing subsides.
That whiskey did a number. Holy shit.
It was a little bit too strong.
Oh wait, you heard that too?
I know I did.
I'll
Armies
take
of
another.
Madness, Baron of Bloodsbane.
Certainly a
Bloodshed.
shot of whiskey then. Not a full glass.
I wonder.
Mimira will take a seat then with her pint and open up her torn journal and attempt to try and transcribe what she remembers from the message.
Alright, roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
See how good that short-term memory was. And what were you saying, Tom?
I wonder. And then Sakar takes another big, huge gulp of whiskey. Is it the drink or is this a form
Considering
of
I'm not
madness?
drunk yet, and I heard the same thing, I
Yeah.
don't think it's the drink.
There's only one way to confirm. And then he takes another huge gulp.
Alright, you are considerably drunk at this point. Well,
Sakar. He's the wild one of us.
Yes.
I give a raised eyebrow to Booker, but continue transcribing.
yep, there you go. I just sent you what I wrote in my notes.
Okay, cool.
Because you remember all of it. As you transcribe it down into your journal.
Booker's just kind of thinking. Madness.
Streaming.
Because he's never heard about madness being used with
I
magic.
just got home like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to go look into this Baron
Yeah.
of Bloodsbane and see if we have
Fucking
anything on it.
sucks.
Bloodshed.
That's alright, because I'm
Whatever.
gonna be doing some work, so I'm like, what are you making this?
He's right.
Okay.
It's written down correctly, so she'll take her book and head to the library, bring her pint with it.
I shall go with.
Let me tell you what I have to do real quick.
What?
I said, let me tell
This
you what I
also
have to do
interests
for
me
the
from
class
an
tomorrow.
academic part.
And then you can go back and do that.
Alright, what's up?
So, I have
Matthias is gonna
this
go as
do
well, but
landscape
he's gonna
bibliography,
sort of
Sollaria.
stash a few of the
I
bottles
have to
for
write a
both
summary of
of
one
you
of the sources.
Like,
then I have
well,
to make
if
that
we're all
summary
gonna
into
go
a
mad,
memo,
I'll bring
and
a
then I
few
have
drinks
to
along.
make a 5 slide.
Sakar brings he refills up his glass full of whiskey and makes his way up as well.
I don't know why I thought Vince was gonna say it. Matthias walks up and goes.
Interesting.
Maybe
So,
if I was a kinky.
so you all make your way to your library, and you open the door, and it's a little crowded with all of you in there. It's not a huge one. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All of us.
I will say 2 of you can make the check with advantage.
I got +2.
I got
Unless somebody's got better than that.
0 over here.
Okay.
I can roll.
What do you got?
I got a +3.
Alrighty, I think the 2 and the 3 should roll with advantage then.
I.
Fantastic.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
I forgot we both had 2s. Well,
Jesus.
So, I mean, either way, you pour through the books, and there's just nothing on the Baron of Bloodshed. There are articles of the Plains of Madness, and the only information that has been able to been gathered about them in like recent history, so history that would be on these shelves, is that there are rulers of these almost like nearly infinite planes of this like mad just space where creatures of chaotic evil nature reside, called Barons of Chaos. So you can make your assumptions, but that's all that you know. There's no specifics. There's no names of any ones that are like known. Because to learn that information, you'd have to be in contact with the entity or demons, and
Oh,
most
boy.
people don't survive that.
What would compel a Baron of Chaos from the Madness Realm to take over the material?
I'm a shootout in the dark, but I think chaos.
More things to kill.
I mean, yeah, but there are other planes you can do that on. Why the material?
Perhaps our realm is weak.
That's true. That is.
Or someone left the door open.
Curious.
You all can make perception checks if you'd like.
And... Oh,
Big fucking brain. Yatoze. Booker, you're standing there and you're like, and then you just like whoop, stick your head out the window, and you see a shadow like block out the sun for a second. Like something was flying above you all, so like blocked out the shade. And you just see two wings and like a blobby figure. But it's just flying overhead and is seemingly moving towards civilization.
That doesn't seem good.
what?
I point out the big blobby figure.
Huh. Well, that certainly makes the message more sense.
Wings seem
There's-
feathery.
I would
This is
assume
probably-
something from the realm of madness would not make much sense. We could study it. Booker's eyes like widen. We could study it.
Be the first real academics on the plains of madness.
We could ask it questions.
Like how that mass message was sent out.
He's just kind of already putting books into his backpack. Anything like pertaining to this?
All right, you got one.
The one book,
Yep, just
and then one like empty book to write shit in.
as you do.
Anyway, so we're going.
I'm right behind you.
All right.
Did we ever settle on like what, like if we had shit like beforehand or no? Do we have to buy like?
You
I know
should
we
have
talked
your
about
studying
masters.
equipment, and
Yeah,
you
of
have
course.
100 gold pieces and a healing potion.
Okay, cool. So,
That's
so
what I thought.
I didn't buy Make Mastiff.
No,
Damn it.
not quite. You just got the thought of it today. You were like,
Yeah.
that would be
I'm
really
buying
nice.
Dog. Yeah.
So where are you
Do we
guys
all-
headed?
What about that potion of healing? Because that 100 gold pieces came with a potion of healing.
Yeah. That's
Okay, just making sure.
yeah. Everyone has 100 gold pieces and a potion of healing.
Alright. Well, Momira is headed out with Booker, and we're gonna go investigate this whole Madness Plains thing with the Baron of Chaos, and we're all like,
Rupert kind of gets to the gate and then like takes out one of the books and hands it to Mormira because it's a bit too heavy for him carrying two big books. Just
okay.
take it.
I put one in my pack.
Okay.
And I take all of my stuff with me.
So where are you guys going?
Well, towards what civilization was that?
It was
What-
just
what
like
province?
it was just south of you, so that's like most of them.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Because you guys are north of the provinces, and then if you go south, you
What's
start
the
hitting
closest
Is
provinces.
it-
province?
It would be because the Vencia is in the center. It'd probably be like I would say Dalcorin is the closest to you.
To
Now,
Dalcorin.
how fast was this thing?
It was in vision and out of vision pretty quickly.
Oh, okay, so it's totally
You
gonna be just a double.
surmise. Hold up. Let me get some proper stats here. Yeah, make intelligence checks, everyone. See if you can guesstimate how fast it was.
Yes, I can.
Am I still
Damn
the only one
wild
using
magic.
3D dice? Oh my god!
Damn the wild magic clouding my mind.
Okay, big brain. You surmise it was flying at exactly 120 feet per movement.
Okay. 120 per 6 seconds. Okay.
No, 120 base, so
Movement.
240.
So 240
Per 6 seconds.
Okay. Hmm.
So like,
Fastest probably a ship would be.
so about 4 times your speed.
Gotcha.
My calculations estimate fast as fuck.
You're not wrong.
These is good estimations.
Mhm.
Accurate.
It's probably going to beat us out to Dalcorin. Maybe we don't rush into this with just books and ready as academics, since it seemed kind of threatening if we weren't ready to join the Barons of Chaos, or ready to join this Baron of Bloodshed. Which,
could
I don't
walk.
know about you, I just don't know enough to, say one way or
I
the
can
other.
ask him some questions, but I don't know about joining. We
I
could go
kind
to
of like my
Dalcorin, ask some things, you know,
Mhm.
get some clues about this thing, and be sent on our merry way. Maybe even make some money on the way.
I don't think we're going to be sent on our merry way, is the thing.
Did you guys bring the map and the stone?
We're kind of sitting at the
Sure.
gates of the property.
Well, yeah, I'm just asking, are you going to bring those things?
Yes.
We should.
Because Dalcorin is just north of Advencia, so you can make
And
a
we
stop
gotta go
to
drop
see
this
the
off
bells.
anyways, so.
The best, the best, the best.
I suppose we should probably discuss with the others whether or not we're going to share the map. Or if that's something we're going to pursue.
We could discuss with the others. I personally would
Let's
like
make
to
sure we
do
get them
it.
ready to go to Dalcorin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mumira heads back inside, goes find Matthias and Sakar.
Zakar, you're sitting in a drunken stupor, and Matthias, you're just reading some books.
Once he said horn, that's all I could imagine. The dude skeleton.
Alrighty,
they
so,
read.
Booker and I have surmised that the large flying creature that was in the sky that blotted out the sun is actually headed towards Dalcorin.
Did you get a better look at it?
No. It was moving too fast.
We got a look at it.
You got a look at it.
It was very blobby and made no sense anatomically.
Which we surmised it's probably from the
Madness realm.
Madness realm, and in which case probably belongs to this Baron of Bloodshed and his herald. In which case we want to go ask it some questions.
That would seem wise.
Does it? I'm not
We-
quite sure something from the realm of chaos would be quite prone
Madness,
to...
not chaos.
Oh, madness. Would be prone to answering questions.
Why wouldn't it?
Gut feeling.
If it's some sort of
You and your
demon,
gut
usually
feelings.
they like to strike some deals. And I have a question that needs to be answered. I'm very much more than willing to give up my soul for said answer.
Well, as long as
I'll have to
it's-
investigate the terms of these agreements, but it's something to consider and look into. Well, besides, there was that threat at the end of it.
Besides, I don't think we're gonna catch up to this thing. We should go to Dalcorin, give back the stone and everything.
Well, that's in Advencia. It's
We
on the
should go
way.
to Dalcorin and get some clues about this thing. I doubt it's gonna be there.
Might be heading towards Advencia.
Might be heading towards Cargill or any other like southern province. Maybe Bethloria.
All of the provinces are southern.
Exactly.
It could be headed to several.
It could be heading to anyone. So we could gather some some clues and see where we go from there. Nothing behind it, so to speak.
Yeah, we're just wanting to hunt to Dalcorn as soon as possible.
And we could also take some jobs. We are adventurers after all.
And we've got to get paid for this one, and it's on our way.
Yep.
So, in other words, pack your shit. We're going to Dalcorn.
And of course, we need to discuss the map. I would like
Which
to
can
keep
be
it.
done on the road. I
Pull
just
the
want
lever.
to get moving.
Wrong lever. Can't get Kronk out of my head. I'm sorry.
By all means.
Oh yeah.
Mumira will take the rest of the pint that she has, which has likely gone stale at this point,
Slightly.
It's
and then pack the rest of her shit, get ready to go, and basically be sitting outside.
This doesn't go stale, but
Whatever.
it goes flat. If it's
Flat,
beer,
that's
it
what I
goes
was thinking. Flat.
I just rolled with it.
I was thinking stale drink, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, you got the message.
It's really stiff. Never mind. Anyways,
Hey.
continue. XD.
But yeah, and then she'll be sitting outside on the gates reviewing her own notes and reviewing her spell book.
You don't have a spell book.
I don't? Did we get... Oh, that's right, I've got a fucking... Yep, that's right.
You don't have any of that anymore.
That's right,
There is
that's
no
right.
book.
Arcane Focus is what I got.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a book that you write about your spells in, but it's not
Which
a
will probably be
spell
my
book.
journal anyways, so...
One would call it a book of notes or a
Yeah.
notebook.
Yeah, she's got a notebook that she
Yes.
writes anything and everything into.
Booker has the book that he just got from the library, the empty book, which he will start writing more.
Alrighty.
Mumira
So you
is
guys
sitting outside the
taking-
gate on the outside of the property and would like to go as soon as possible.
So, are you guys taking the fast but dangerous route or the safe but longer route?
I'd fancy not dying, so I think we should take
Considering
the safe route.
Sakar's drunk, let's take the long road.
And considering we all got a psychic message about death and about demons running amok, we should probably take the safe route.
If we wish to arrive in a battle-ready state, we should take the safe route.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how long we have to actually catch up to this thing, so maybe getting there faster could be an option.
It's a good point.
That is a valid point. And I
Then
haven't
again, we
seen
don't
any
know if the
demons
risk is
around.
worth the reward. Besides, it was moving at 200 feet per second, per 6
Wait.
seconds, so...
Why would we go? I agree with Matthias. We could find a demon on the way, and perhaps ask it many questions. A preemptive
Yes, but aren't there
investigation.
goblins and hobgoblins among the unsafe road as well?
Unnecessary risk, I'd say.
All right, so now it's
I'm more
split.
debating because of Sakar's lack of soberness. Lack of sobriety. That's the word I'm looking for.
I am
Yeah.
capable of trekking the path. Do not worry about me.
Sakar is a man I trust. He hasn't lied to me before.
Yes,
Allow
but he's
me.
sober then.
To demonstrate. And then Sakar, walks across the room. And I would hope a straight line.
Roll a wisdom save.
Please nail it.
He's not great at those. Oh, wow.
You
Nice.
crush it. Yeah,
Nice.
straightest line you've ever walked.
Ah,
Alrighty
straighter
then,
than my
convince
Uncle
me.
Jerry.
We'll have to be vigilant.
All right.
Sakar picks up his bag that's, right by the door.
Mhm.
He throws it on his bag. Let us leave this place.
Yes.
So you
Alright,
guys
the
taking
fast
the
road.
dangerous route. Fantastic.
Danger road. Danger
I
zone.
am to the danger zone. Oh God.
Uh-oh.
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 Spaghetti-o.
Okay. Well, I get to do this encounter way sooner than I thought.
Oh no! I don't like that.
So as you guys are traveling along the road, you actually meet up with a caravan that's traveling the same route as you. They have a lot of like armed guards. You see a couple half orcs actually. Just kind of like they're kind of secluded. They don't really talk to you much. You know, merchants are very wary of adventurers. Being what you are, they tend to, you know, mistrust you. And everyone also seems about on edge as you are. So it seems like these people are also going through some things. You could try to converse with them if you'd like.
I'll try to converse with some of the half-orc guards that I see in Orc.
Okay, what do you say?
Attempt to start in kind of light conversation of, you know, where you headed. We're headed to Dalcorin.
I wish to. Does anybody look like they're adept in the arcane arts?
Make an investigation insight check. Insight.
Insight. Powerful.
It's a bunch of people in like nicer robes, but none of them look magical. They don't feel magic either. So
I will just go up and ask if anybody knows how to do magic.
they shake their heads. We are not that kind of caravan.
Very well. Don't mind me.
A darker skinned human man, who's like the driver, says. And Mamira, the half-orc guards, just kind of grunt and they say, "Off to Vencia."
So I can't get them out with any kind of small talk or anything? No?
They don't seem to. They don't seem like the talking types. They seem like they're hired for a reason. They do have a symbol on their chest. I will pull it up. I actually need to dive into my world notes for this.
Ooh. Going deep into the lore.
Yep.
You see a shield. The symbol is a shield that is cracked and battered.
Would I know what
you
this
can
is?
make history checks. Anyone who wants to identify what that means.
Yeah.
Did I take history? I did!
Damn it. Damn it.
Hey!
Damn it. That's a fat 2. It's a strong 2 right there.
Strong too.
It's sad.
You not rolling, Matthias?
There we go.
Hey!
Wait, did Alex roll?
Nope.
Yeah, Alex got the 17.
There is no
Oh.
17 on my screen.
There's a 17 on mine.
I don't see it.
I don't doubt you, but
What?
it just isn't showing up for us.
I promise.
No, I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just saying Roll20 hasn't rolled your roll.
Oh, okay. It's before Matthias's.
Yeah, no.
Wow, shit, it's not even on fucking
It's not on the stream.
either.
No.
That's so weird.
Yeah, now
It's
you
not
know we're
mine.
just not a group. Now you know it's just not a group ruse. Anyways, we'll say that checks out. You and Matthias know this
I mean, I can
actually.
screenshot it.
I don't doubt you. These guys seem to be a member of the Outlawed. They are a group of mercenaries who consider themselves above the law of the provinces. That's about it. Oh, you know, they're a bit of a ragtag group. They don't really have like a telling of sorts. It's just if you see that symbol, you know who they are.
Oh, so the symbol's really the only tell.
Yeah.
I can respect it.
Okay.
Like they don't have like
Are
a
they an
race that they're
expensive group?
commonly. Depends. Depends on the branch.
Okay.
Depends on the job.
The northern one, would I know at all, or?
You wouldn't know them. You never
Okay.
really interacted with them at all. Just you've read about them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got no practical knowledge of it. Got it.
These two just happen to be half-orcs. But as you guys are traveling, you see one of the half-orcs kind of like, oh shit! And then he like goes and he like pushes one of the merchants down, and you see 15 arrows just pincushion him, and he falls to the ground.
The orc? The half orc?
The half orc just dead instantly, and then you hear a bunch of like yeah coming from the bushes. As you see goblins, like their orange beady eyes from the bushes, they're attacking in broad daylight, which is so weird. There's about 10 of them in the bushes on your side, and you see others are jumping on that other orc guard. There's about 5 of them on that side, and you see about 2 of them are waving this banner, like a goblinoid hand just slapping a wolf.
Oh yeah, these fuckers.
And you see coming out of the brush an extremely large goblin, so about medium. And they have these large, like, gold earrings and a red sort of, like, loincloth. And he starts shouting in common, "This belongs to Tarok the Blessed." And everyone, roll initiative.
Okay, no,
Yikes.
alright, we're good.
Let me click my token first.
Token first. Token first.
I'm disappointed in
Token
you.
first. Oh my god!
Hey.
Oof. Ooh.
I.
Oof. Okay. The one guard that's still alive to roll, he rolled a 2. I'm gonna move your guys' little character boys up, and we'll get a proper map down here. And by proper, I mean extremely lazily put together. It's random encounters.
Random encounters. Random encounters. I want the turn order, please. Nope, nope, nope. Please let me have the turn order.
What's your guys' usual walking order?
I would like to stay in the back.
I imagine I'd be towards the front.
I'm usually in second in front. Because I'm usually not far from the back.
Matthias would probably like to be in the middle.
Fuck, my roommate's got gifts.
Oh hell yeah!
Powerful.
There you go. If you guys go to the bottom of the map, you'll see you guys. We'll say this is your orc. The orc guard that's still alive is like up here. Currently being jumped on by 5 goblins.
Oh fuck. Was not gifts for me, I found out.
Unfortunate. They're just screaming and yelping, and they're like, yeah!
Also, I apologize for having Booker next to my name in the turn order. That was a screw up on my part.
No worries.
I actually cannot see the fucking turn order right now. Oh, well, okay.
Alex's roll 20 is
Alex's Roll20 has really decided that she does not get to play the game today.
I don't get to play. I'm gonna refresh the page, guys. Oh, I think it's because I turned off 3D dice, so now everything's fucking up. But apparently I'm not allowed to play. Okay, my turn order's back. It's not where I put it, but it's back.
That's a lot of goblins.
that
It is.
fuck a load of goblins.
And here,
Oh, that is a lot of goblins.
and
Oh my
here is
god.
Tarok the Blessed. Alrighty.
Yikes.
Yikes at the yard. What the-
Alright, guard. He rolled a 2.
Uh-oh.
This group of gobos rolls. Oh. Ooh, a 19.
Hey, I still go before them. Great.
They get to do a stabbing to this man. The archer gobos also roll a 19. And Tarok. Ha! 5. Subarashi. And something else will be happening that I have to keep track of.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Good stuff. Let's get the combat bongos rolling.
Combat bongos, let's go.
The omen of destruction. The bongos of combat.
Okay, Matthias, you're up first. The 22. What will you do?
Oh, that's tough. I'm thinking of he'll go towards the big one.
Okay.
Sort of just try and place himself between the party and, well, the large one. So
Okay.
maybe about here.
All right.
And he's going to attempt to stab him.
Ooh.
Do I have my sword attacks? I don't roll for it. What's the rolls for a rapier?
It's a finesse weapon, so dex plus proficiency, and if you hit, you do 1d8 plus your dex. In dabblage. Probably plus 2 because you have the dueling fighting style, correct?
Yeah.
So it'd be dex plus 2.
So, what would I roll for the attack? A 1d20 plus proficiency plus dex?
Yeah.
Yep.
So dex plus 2, basically. Ah.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay. As you go in to stab, you see this this large goblin bring a spear and parry deftly and just drive your sword into the ground.
Well, that's not a first good strike.
No, it isn't. Is that your turn?
Ah, yeah, I don't have much else.
Alrighty. Mamira.
bonus actions, but okay. Mamira, I was gonna do a thing to this group of boys, but I realized, well, actually, a lot can change in that time. I'm gonna cast me some necrotic bomb, and I'm gonna hit this motherfucker.
Okay.
So okay, so it's my spell attack bonus is +5, so it's attack bonus because I didn't actually set it up to roll the attack bonus yet. Custom spells. Oh my god!
Wonderful.
Has it begun? It has begun. Okay.
It has begun.
Oh, it wouldn't be
Cool.
the Sunday game. It really wouldn't.
It
Because
really
it wouldn't be the
wouldn't.
Sunday game without.
Uh,
I rolled a nat
someone,
20 on my
someone,
veteran initiative, so this makes sense.
someone roll a d20 for me.
I'll do it. No,
Higher is worse.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, you just miss.
Fuck.
You
Okay. I still gotta take the fucking damage, that's right. Oh boy.
The spell failed, so we'll say you don't.
No, the spell
Oh
still went
yeah,
off,
you
I just
cast. You
missed.
cast it. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
still cast it, so yeah, I'm still taking the damage for it.
Alright.
I gotta
so-
double check how much I actually take.
Mamira conjures up, and you see almost like an energy pouring from her own veins. It's like dark, sickening, necrotic one, and she throws it out, but this goblin just ducks out of the way as it like continues to just like seep out of her. And you take that dabblage. At the 20,
Uh-oh.
you see from the north.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more goblins show up.
That's huh. This is a lot.
And in the center of this group of goblins, you just hear, now! And a goblin will use its action to, like, grow in size, and you see this, like, malformed, like, maw, almost like bat-like, with two large fangs and large gray body with almost like humanoid arms and like bat ears, and it just screams out and roars towards the goblins and seems to lick its chops as it looks at them. So that's what this one's turn was. So this boy grows into a large size, pushing this goblin out of the way. That's like and all of these goblins turn and they fucking shoot it. Because they are now the panicked. Because a huge, like, here, 1 second. Let me find a picture of it for you. just for your references.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
That is what it looks like.
Oh.
Doggy.
Doggy.
No. We made this mistake before.
He's adorable.
He is.
No. We've made this mistake before.
Booker hasn't.
Got him.
I haven't.
I know we haven't. I know Booker
1,
has and
2,
Mimir
3,
has not.
4, 5, 6,
But
7,
Justin
8,
has.
9, 10. 10
Oh, yeah.
shots going towards this creature. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits.
Jesus.
Okay, 5 hits on it. And someone roll a d20 for me. One of them
Ah!
critically
I can roll it.
failed.
15.
Oh.
Okay.
We're getting worse, boys.
Alright, you watch as it gets pierced with these arrows, and it smiles and grins as it licks its teeth, and the arrows don't even seem to pierce its hide all that much. I'm just gonna roll 1 arrow. 4 times 5 is 20. What's their modifier? Goblin. So 20 plus 10 is 30 points of piercing damage to it, and it takes them all in stride and seems barely affected. Beep, 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 beep. Alrighty, that's those goblins' turns. The other goblins that are on this poor bitch, they're going to just annihilate this man.
Uh-oh.
Or attempt to. 1 hit. Oh, only 1 hits. As you see him just holding up this shield and like ducking behind it basically as he's just assaulted from all sides. And he takes 5 points of piercing damage, and you see him just drop for a second, and then like an adrenaline like rushes through him, and then he stands back up.
Uh-oh.
That's their turn. Booker.
Wow.
Hi, it's me, Booker.
It's a boy.
It's me, Kobold boy.
Comes to
Colonel.
turn. I'm thinking Lincoln here.
Thinking like Lincoln.
I could Scorching Ray.
You could.
That is an idea.
So, remind me how Pack Tactics works with you. If I Scorching Ray this big guy,
You have advantage because
I have advantage on
Vince
all
is
of them.
within 5 feet of him.
Yeah, but I want the Tides of Chaos also. So I want.
Then shoot someone that you don't have advantage on.
I could shoot the big boy, but I know Tides of Chaos will only give it to me for one of the Scorching Ray.
He does
So,
not
like, the one
seem. Make insight check. Make an insight check, Booker.
I shall do just that.
This thing seems like it's ready to just eat a goblin.
Upping the goblins may not be a bad. Upping this thing may not be a bad. You know what? I'm just gonna Scorching Ray the back.
The which one?
The one that I just get advantage without using Chaos.
How does that pack tactics work?
It says, right here, you have advantage on an attack roll against a creature if one of your, if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the creature.
It just says attack roll, not weapon attack roll.
It just says attack roll.
Okay. Yep. That works. Yeah, go for it. Pew, pew, pew. You conjure 3 rays of fire and you just shoot that shit. Make sure to roll a d20 as well. Oh!
Oh.
Okay.
How many hit?
I have
will
to.
roll that d20. Please. It's not a nat one.
2 of them hit. Damn.
I want chaos.
I don't play the rolls exactly how it is.
Oh, okay.
So you watch as like you fire it out, and your spell goes off successfully, and you hit 2 rays. The crit obviously fucking hits.
Yeah, and the 16.
Mm-hmm. 16 also hits. And as you do, you see like a bit of rainbow fire at the tail end of the one, and you're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Roll the d100? Or
Nope.
do you roll it?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's an 18 points of fire damage. You send them, and he gets blown back, and the smoke clears, and he stands forward. His red sort of like tribal like leader hat is just incinerated off his head. Any hair on his head is just gone, and he just stares defiantly towards your friend in front of him.
I will use a sorcery point to use my bonus action to hit him with firebolt.
Pew!
And
Kapew.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet.
With advantage, because
Yes. Yes. that hits.
I'm not done yet.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, you rock him, and he drops to one knee, but then raises up quickly.
And then I will do exactly this.
Sakai.
Just
Okay, so these goblins right up here,
Yeah.
are they looking like they're trying to hurt us? What's their intent?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
They seem ready to stab people. They are carrying the banner of the rest of the goblins that are here.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
I would like to cast Sleep centered right here. So these 5, as well as these 3, are hits.
Roll that sleep.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
good.
gonna be casting it at a higher level.
Ooh.
So let's see.
At a
Ooh.
second level.
Right. I'm gonna be casting it at the 2nd level. Boop.
29.
There we are.
Let me do something real quick. All right, 4 of them fall asleep.
Awesome.
You may choose which 4 you want to fall asleep.
I'm gonna say
The ones
these
on the
3
guard.
right here, these 3 right here, and this one.
This slip.
I command thee, sleep.
And you watch as like they all like say yeah, and then some of them go nee. And then they like lay down in like the fetal position, just start.
Alright, let me decide if I
Sorry.
want to continue my turn. Hold on.
Oh, sorcerers.
Oh, sorcerer.
I should have planned this out.
You're
Very
fine.
shit.
You're fine.
Hmm.
You're giving other people more time to plot out what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I would like to use 2 sorcery points to have a quicken spell.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to guess what that spell is? It's sleep.
You cannot cast 2 first-level spells in the same turn.
I thought it says 1 action.
Yes, but I believe one of them has to be a cantrip. The action has to be
Yeah.
a cantrip.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You can cast
Dang.
like 2 spells, but one has to be a cantrip
Yeah.
and take a bonus action, and one has to take an action, or vice versa. You know.
Mhm.
Dang. In that case, I'll just firebolt this one right here. This one right there.
All right, that one in particular.
Yes.
Roll your attack as you conjure a like black flame in your hand. You shoot it outwards, and unfortunately, the goblin ducks out of the way, and it explodes in a burst of flame on the bush behind it.
And I believe that is my turn.
Tarok the Blessed turn. He is going to use his Chieftain's Rally. Alrighty. So all these gobos are going to use their reaction. The ones that are awake. Whoosh. And rush to their chieftain's aid. Including these ones who have no business getting in melee. And that will be his action as he prepares himself for another round. The guard's turn. He just standing there and just coup de grace one of the goblins by just like stepping on his chest, and you just hear the sickening crunch of a rib cage as his boot just concaves the goblin's chest. Dead. Matthias. There's a small man behind you.
Yes, there is.
And there's also a big man in front of you.
I think I'm gonna have Matthias try and stab him.
You want to
Let's go,
just stab him?
Turn around and just jab.
Unfortunately, you're still a little shaken by the message you had heard earlier, and you just stab forward, and he ducks deftly out of the way with your rapier.
Shit.
I think that's about all I got.
You got
You are a
bonus
bard.
action stuff. You are a bard.
What do I have as my bonus action?
There's bardic inspiration.
You can
Oh.
inspire somebody.
Inspire.
Inspired.
Nah, not yet.
All right.
Okay.
Not yet, Mimir.
Not
Okay.
done yet.
Now, hold on. I gotta double check the. That would take 2. Okay. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Forced Attack on this guy.
All right. Would you like to explain to them what that is?
So I cast this. I've got the card here actually. Oh, cool. It totally didn't. Okay. That's
Well done.
cool.
Well done.
It did attack for some reason. There's the spell card. How about I fucking the spell card? There's the spell card, which has everything on it. I choose a target within range and they make a wisdom saving throw. As I quickly manipulate their body like a puppet. On a failed save, they're forced to use their reaction to attack a creature that I choose as long as they are in reach of the target. And on a successful save, nothing happens, but they know that I attempted the spell on them.
All right.
It's a first level spell.
And with this, he rolls a failure. He rolled a 3.
A failure. Alrighty, cool.
No.
Because it's only a 13. I'm gonna have him. He's with a bow, correct?
Yeah, he's got a big old crossbow.
Little crossbow.
So
So I'll have him.
He could shoot anybody.
Yeah. Or actually, have him attack the big man.
Really.
He's
The
gonna
betrayal.
attack the big man.
Insubordination.
You watch as sort of the goblin is just staring forwards, like getting ready to panically shoot this giant creature that has appeared in their midst. And as he does, you watch as these like ethereal strings almost like pull and move, and his eyes glaze over like with this like light gray filament, and the bow just turns towards his leader and fires. I never thought about it. Do you want to roll his attack, or would you want me to roll it?
I'll have you roll it for right now.
Okay. Someone roll a d20.
Oh fuck! Are you serious? I'll
Yeah.
roll it
I'm sorry.
Okay.
since it's my thing. 4. Damn it!
He just misses as the bolt sticks into the ground, and he goes, and Tarak sort of turns around and just says, "You," and is going to
Still
use a legendary reaction, and he just points towards the goblin, and he says, "Prove yourself." And the goblin goes and shoots Momira
Oh,
with a
damn
bolt.
it.
Wait,
Get!
does the goblin? Can the goblin do that? Is it?
Is it
The
can,
goblin
oh,
use the
fuck, okay.
reaction?
That's not the goblin's reaction that's being used.
Fair enough. Fair
It
enough.
is the legendary action that's being used to
Uh-huh.
command someone to attack.
He is a chieftain of goblins. Ooh, you take 5 piercing damage.
Fuck, that's a second level spell!
Yeah, it is. Thrrrr. Sticks into your chest.
Ouch.
And the blood begins to seep out of your wound. Oh, it's Shoota Boy's turn. And
Uh-oh.
they're gonna... These boys with point-blank shooters,
The shooters.
they turn around and they're gonna attack you at disadvantage as they go, "Ah!" Just scream in your face, and it like takes you off
Okay.
guard. It might be a tactic, you don't know. Does a 16 hit you, Sakar?
Yes, it does.
He rolled a 12 and a 12 on his die, naturally. Ah, and would someone like to roll a d20 as the second one fires at Mimira? A lot of nat ones tonight. Kind of spooky. Alright, you watch as he hits, and it, like, the bolt fires, and Mimira kind of, like, holds up her hands, and it hits off of a rock and, like, sticks into the crossbow of the other goblin, and they just look at each other for a second. Sakar, you take 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Okay.
And then the rest of them, the rest of the 8, shoot this man. Oh, sorry, something happened at the 20 initiative that I forgot to mention.
Uh-oh. I was kind of hoping that would not happen for the legendary action, but you know.
Beep. Beep.
Oh, more boys.
Uh-oh.
Beep. Beep.
Oh.
More boys appear.
That's some prime ice knife territory right there.
Ooh, that is exactly
you
Ice
guys
Knife
see
territory.
you guys see Booker like moving his hands
I'm
around.
doing the fucking Yoshigaki Kira where he like extends his hand and like triangulating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, I'm Yoshikage Kira.
My
And
name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old.
the creature suffers 5 more crossbow bolts to the chesticles.
Oh no, the guard.
No, the creature.
Oh. My bad.
Oh no, the creature.
Oh, the creature that's helping us take down goblins.
Awful. And it is its turn. Oh wow, it can do that once a day? That's funny. Sorry, I just found it.
Consume goblin.
You watch as he just, goes and his maw opens and he just goes to bite down on one of these goblins. Wow, even if with his shitty roll, he still hits. Well done. Alright. Success. And you watch as he just bites down and just swallows the goblin whole. As he, like, bit it in half and then just swallowed it whole.
Just like in Jurassic Park.
And it is dead. More gobos turns. So, those ones, they sleep.
They sleep.
This guy did move back like 30 feet because he's gravely injured. And the rest of them go, they charge. And they look powerful. A line just charges forward, and they look at their melee weapons, and each of them throws 1 dagger. It's gonna be 3 at Matthias and 1 at Sakar. Damn it. Ah, they miss you. As you're standing there, Matthias, you're like engaging this bigger goblin and now the smaller goblin, and 3 daggers like tick, 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 just hit off of your armor. Sakar. This is a nat 20 and then a nat 8. Damn it. Damn you, disadvantage. And they miss you.
Nice.
and it just and you dodge out of the way. However, the one in front of you gets
Oh,
to
no.
stab you without disadvantage with a 17 hit.
The stabos.
Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Ooh, 1 point of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Owie, them bones.
Oof, owie, your bones and blood. Booker.
Big brain plays right here. Big brain plays. Gonna move up here.
Uh-huh.
That's 15 feet.
Oh, wait, I have a more accurate representation of this gobble boy.
That was like here.
Here we go.
15
Uh-huh.
feet.
Yeah.
So. I'm a ice knife right there. Right there. That
Right
man
there, on that
Right
one
there.
right there, okay?
Tides
You,
of chaos.
oh, you,
Uh-oh.
you conjure a very, like, shimmering, like, light blue blade in your hand, and you yeet!
I took it the same way the goblins took theirs.
Alright,
Just-
but yours much more accurate, compelled by magic almost, and it just
Yeah.
rushes towards him. Your attack.
Just-
Oh, hits easily.
Nice.
So,
Ice knife.
Ice knife, baby.
7 to the guy that I hit directly, so.
The blade pierces into him and he dies, and then it explodes outwards.
Grenade out.
Frag out! DC 14. Dex save.
Yeah.
Roll high. They didn't. That'd be an 11. And you watch as the cold explosion and you just hear as there are now 5 goblin ice sculptures. And they're dead.
My heart stopped for a second at that. I was like, oh.
And then, as you do that, roll a d20 because you casted a first level spell. Okay. A swirling vortex of magical energy starts to permeate around you. You do not get your Tides of Chaos back, but
Okay.
you're still rolling on that wild magic table.
Oh, this is just natural wild magic
Yeah.
then, not Tides of Chaos?
Mhm.
Okay.
You met a DC
One.
in my head.
1d100.
Yep. Ooh.
17. Let me tell you exactly what a 17.
Mhm.
I grow a long beard made of feathers and remains until I sneeze.
All right.
The feathers explode out of my face.
All right, so
Yes.
you watch as the swirling vortex of energy congeals into your face, and you're like, "Ah!" And then a giant beard of like bluish feathers just explode out of your face. It is a magnificent beard at that.
Then I will go back to where I started.
All right, and as you do, you run back, and you feel a surge of energy return to you. Roll again.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Oh, 60.
Oh my God, is that the one?
Is that the one?
Up to 3 creatures I choose
Okay.
within 30 feet take 42 lightning.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna choose the 3 goblins.
Okay,
that are
so
attacking my
so as you're standing there, you like, whoo, and then you see from out of his back just these huge like streaks of like almost like light blue lightning, like a dragon's breath weapon almost, just and strike these 3 goblins in particular.
I scream at the top of my lungs, I meant to do this.
This was all planned.
According to Kenkaku!
Aw. Did they get a deck save or something?
Let me check. No, they don't.
Okay.
They take the damage.
They're fried and dead instantly.
Fuck.
What kill count is that? Is that like...
Jeez.
That's 10.
7, 8, 9,
That's 10.
10.
That's a 10 kill count already.
Let's go.
Fuck.
All right, wild magic, everybody. You have Tides of
Wild
Chaos back,
magic.
by the way.
Thank you.
Sakar, your turn. You just watched the imbalanced nature of your friend. You thought took place, but it was all according to plan. So, just a little more powerful than he's been leading on.
Letting himself be.
I stroke
Sakara,
my beard.
Sakara just kind of takes a step back and says, "Oh my."
I imagine fucking what's the guy's name? Like Takahashi. He's like,
Taki.
Bye.
It was on the original
George
series.
the Cage. It's George
Anyways,
the Cage. Oh.
I cast sleep at the second level.
God damn it! Stop putting my goblins to sleep.
Just always
Right
spell he
here.
knows.
Well, I mean, it's not the only spell I know. It's just a really useful spell when there's a bunch of enemies. So
I was worried.
these two get hit as well as these four.
Okay.
I was worried about this.
Holy
floor.
shit, that's a lot.
Moly.
I wasn't first, but then I realized that the fucking casters have AoE.
Wait, how many
I
did
was
you affect?
worried at
Okay,
this.
all but one of them falls asleep.
And like as Sakara's casting it, like you see like the magical energy like pulsing off of his staff, and it like shoots like to their general area. And as it's shooting out of his staff, he just says, "Your brethren are asleep. You should join them. Don't they look so comfortable?" And then all five of them sleep except for the one.
5 of them agree with you and go to sleep.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. I'm just stroking the beard, dude. I'm just here like, oh yes,
Oh, yes.
I am wise.
It's like a reverse Silent Man.
Yeah. Because as soon as he sneezes, it's gonna be obnoxious.
So, it's Tarok's turn.
Loud beard.
Loudbeard. Ooh. He is going to... he's going to use his Goblin Boss attack. As he reaches his arm back, you see the spear dig into the foot of the goblin that's asleep and pull it over, and he grabs it and throws it as hard as he can at Sakar. Fuck! No, this was gonna be cool! Does an 11 hit?
No, it does not.
Ah, beads. The goblin goes, ah! Right past you and just splatters into a mush of viscera on the ground behind you.
I shall have to get my robes cleaned later.
The guard's turn. He continues running. And then he pulls out a heavy crossbow from the back of his, and he pulls up at the one right next to Matthias. That hits. Would someone like to roll the damage?
I've
Or
been
would you
rolling a
want me
lot,
to
so
roll
I
the
don't
damage?
want Vince or
Sure,
Thomas
I'll do
roll
it.
it.
Oh
Or...
yeah, Vince.
What's the dice? for it?
1d10 plus 1. Oh, you watch as this goblin just gets skewered in the back of the head and falls forward.
What a chap.
He's just breathing heavily. Matthias.
Wait, the orc? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's all the way in the bottom of the map. He's fucking running away.
Dice is gonna be like very frustrated at his story. He's gonna be like, work! And he's gonna try and stab the big one again.
Starts hitting the blade. Like, fuck. Oh my god. You rolled consistent 4s. This is insane. Okay, sorry, man.
Can I Tides of Chaos him?
Give yourself inspiration?
Eventually, but I need to hit first.
No.
I know.
No,
That would be
unfortunately.
ridiculous.
Maybe later. Alright, unfortunately, Matthias, this man is martially adept and is countering your blows at every turn, as he's just parrying and blocking with his spear. And as a legendary action, he is going to... what is he going to do? He's gonna shout, "Get in here!" Nothing seems to happen at the moment.
Uh-oh.
Lemire.
That's not good. Well, let me think for a minute here.
There'd be lots of CP gobos.
There are...
Wow, so we know 65 is a very good wild magic effect.
Okay, so 65 is good.
Really
Okay.
is.
Yeah, get over here. Fucking, that does not sound like it's gonna be a good time. For, like, anybody involved. That's 3 of its turns, though, and then, okay. That's a risky move, I'm gonna wait.
Yep.
Or wait, no, but then I can... Because I want a thing to work, but it requires... You know what? Nah, we'll showcase it anyway, and I'm gonna have to do that on that turn. Okay, sorry, I'm planning a couple of turns ahead here, which may change,
brain.
but... I am going to be casting... I'll cast Necrotic Bomb again.
Oh, okay. The same sort of
on the
dark
big
energy conjures into this ball of energy, and you blast it out.
Oh!
That will certainly hit.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
Tuzzy!
take my fucking damage real quick, so I can reel from what just happened.
Yeah,
So that is...
Wait, why are you rolling at a +2?
I don't... Why is that a +2? That should be a +5. I hate my life. It's a ranged attack.
Well, because you probably didn't put it in as Constitution.
I did, though. Spellcasting ability Constitution. Fuck me, okay.
Let me take a look at it real quick. You keep doing
Yeah,
your
it should
thing.
be a +5. My spell attack bonus says +5.
Hold up.
Okay, go ahead, play with my sheet.
Yep, you didn't
I didn't hit
actually
it
enter
there.
in anything. There you go.
Oh, I didn't hit it there. I hit it on my fucking spell sheet.
Yep.
I hit it on spells, not... Okay, whatever.
That's okay.
But
Yeah, roll that
it'll
damage.
be 2d6 then.
Okay. 7.
And then he takes a d6 on every... the next 3 of his turns.
Alright, well, you don't even need the next 2 turns.
Oh,
Uh,
well, in that case, I'm sorry, Matthias.
So,
what's gonna happen next?
you watch as the ball hits, and it, like, slowly, like, sinks into the chest of the goblin, like a sickening, like, slime, almost. And you see as the skin begins to crack with that same color, and it begins to shine out as Mimira just clenches her fist, and the goblin explodes.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's that. Well,
How big
well,
is it?
everything in a 20-foot range of that man, because he died to it, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Everything within a 20-foot range has to make a dex save, or they're taking another 2d6.
Oh.
Or I don't know, would the crit... Or is it another d6, or would it be 2d6?
Let me read my own spell real quick.
Because I don't think we specified what damage it takes upon the creature dying to the spell.
Oh, they were supposed to take, Oh, wow, there is no damage dice specified. It was supposed to be, like, 3d6.
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry. Make dex saves.
Make a dex save,
It's an easy
Matthias.
save. It's an easy save. It's a 13.
You just... Why would you... Okay, you actually made it.
Avoid this one. I won't get robbed.
you dodged. You take half
The
damage.
other goblins do not dodge.
Oh no.
The big creature, however...
Sorry. Oh, I thought more was gonna happen. I thought he needed to take more damage. Oh no.
Nope.
Fuck.
How
Yeah,
much damage
as...
do I take?
3d6
Yeah, roll that.
upon it dying to the spell. Oh, okay. That's okay. We're good.
5.
These 3, by the way, these 3 that are asleep also take that.
Oh, well,
5
they
points.
automatically fail, but they're
Yeah,
awake
because they
now.
auto fail.
They're awake now, and they're alive still.
Uh-oh.
They look badly injured, and they're like, as the blood of their leader is just spattered, and you watch as the corpse explodes, and instead of like viscera and gore, you see it's all just this like inky black, almost like acid that just spatters onto everything in a 20-foot radius. The creature also takes half damage, so 2. And it just like
That could've
hisses
gone
at
way
this new
worse.
yeah, and the rest of these goblins are extremely injured. Cool, I'm glad that spell worked. It's one
I'm very happy that worked, but I did not think it was gonna work that well.
right. Alright, Archer boys. Archer boys. Oh, 20 initiative count. My bad. You see the cavalry has arrived.
Uh-oh.
Oh, uh-oh.
Bink. Bink. And then a shaman.
Uh-oh.
Bink approaches.
Are we fighting
Uh-oh.
a war with goblins?
We are fighting a war with goblins. Fuck.
Stabby boy's turn. Because the crossbow boys hit the creature a bit more. Still looks fine, even though it has like 8 crossbow bolts in its like body at this point. Stabby boys. There are 3 of them, and they. Oh, you did hear the leader as he exploded shout, "I will be reborn."
Uh-oh. Oh no, oh no.
Oh,
That's a good sign.
oh yeah,
That's not
oh
good.
yeah. It's all coming together.
It's all put together.
Uh-oh.
Boop. Boop.
Uh-oh.
Boop. Mamira, you get a stab towards you.
Okay.
Ooh, with an 11.
Does not
Hmm.
hit.
Sakar, they miss you too, with double 3s, totaling to 7. So yeah, I think that misses you. Booker.
Just a bit.
What will you do? Kobold man, take me by
Oh,
the
man.
hand.
Is me.
Kobold man, take me by the hand, lead me to the
It's
land
time.
that you understand.
It's time for a scorching ray.
More fire.
One. Oh wait, no. No. Why do I need to do this?
No.
Like at 1 health. Just gonna magic missile them.
Okay. Which ones?
1 to each.
Of the gobos?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they die. They had 2 HP left.
Nice.
3.
Nice.
Booker-
So that
Good
one-
Booker
magic
just-
missiles.
Just flicks his hand and
Damn.
3 light blue arcane missiles just drop the goblins.
Nice.
Is that 1d20?
More rainbow energy seems to swirl around you.
And I will
So
I
many
will-
corpses on this screen.
sorcery point to firebolt this man right here.
You have disadvantage because he's prone.
I see. Then not that man. This man.
Okay.
Wait,
He's,
don't I have Tides of Chaos again?
yeah.
Why would
do.
you do that?
Because I like chaos.
Alright.
Okay. It's your choice.
So yeah.
Roll it. So it's just straight
okay.
roll.
Yeah. Firebolt. Straight roll.
Epic. Yeah, roll your damage.
Target acquired.
Double that one. Okay.
I should have ice knifed.
Honestly.
Oh well. But that one. That guy right there.
Yeah, he's. He barely gets to wake up and scream before he's incinerated.
And that is my turn.
Sakar.
You said this is a shaman, right?
Something like that. It's a goblin who looks like old with like warts on its face and it's got a big old staff.
I'm gonna hit him with a firebolt. Or not.
The firebolt races past and it just like. Looks back and forth like, oh, fire bad.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? Maybe it does, because I'm going to use my favored by demons trait
Ooh.
to add another 4. Does that hit?
12 will hit the shaman.
Nice.
Ooh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay.
Powerful.
That is
So
pretty
you
powerful.
watch as the black fire channels around Sakar's hand, and he throws it out. And as it like arcs past, and the goblin looks scared, you see as underneath its feet, these like gray flames just shoot up from under it. And
Nice.
engulf it with 7 fire damage. That's really good. It screeches in pain. It's just like
Nice.
nice.
And that is
Good.
my turn.
Good shit. The guard thunk fires his crossbow at another goblin. Misses. Malthias.
Matthias is gonna be sort of like trying to wipe some of the blood that's off of him.
Yeah, just like the like black tarry substance, just like
It won't come off that easy.
I can try.
It's not
I
coming
hate
off
that.
easy.
Then he's going to move to about down here, and he's going to shout like, "Okay, this time, last chance for you to work."
ah! He did it! Useless the rapier.
You did it!
You had to name it first.
It had to be named.
You had to insult its intelligence.
7. Nice.
All right. And as you shout that and you stab forward, and the goblin holds up his crossbow to block, and the blade pierces through the thin part of the crossbow and just into its brain, and it just sits there lifeless on the blade.
Finally.
Finally! Yes! I did it! Alright.
As the bonus action, I'm going to use one of my flourishes.
Ooh.
I'm actually going to use the defensive flourish.
Alright. You brandish your blade and start swinging it around in fancy maneuvers, adding
What do I roll for that?
your Bardic Inspiration die. So a d6. Adding 5 to your AC until the start of your next turn.
That's really
pretty
cool.
fucking good.
Ooh.
Momira.
Hey, I'm gonna. Well, I could stay back here. I kind of like the idea of staying back here.
Pick on the sleeping goblins some more, I see.
Yeah,
Easy XP.
cause I'm gonna leech some life off of them and cast my cantrip Minor Siphon.
You have disadvantage because they are.
Oh fuck, you're right. Never mind. You just went over that with Justin. I realized. That's why I wanted to do this way. I am going to. Yeah, I'll step there. And then I'm gonna cast Minor Siphon on the shaman.
Alright.
Alright, hold on. I gotta figure out what it is. Attack range D6. D6. It is a D6.
Mm-hmm. It's a d6 of damage now.
Yeah, I gotta hold on. I gotta do the same thing that I did before.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it does my +5, not a +2. 14?
Yeah, that easily is.
Okay. 3 points of damage. Do I heal all of that?
Yeah.
Did we determine if it's either half or all of it?
Oh, it's
Okay.
all of it.
Oof, okay. I leech life.
It says you healed the damage dealt.
Okay,
You
yeah.
watch as Momira sort of like holds up her hand, and all the like energy that's been like dripping off of her, as well as like her own blood that's been just like slowly dripping out of her face. You watch as that shaman who had been hit by the flames. You watch as this like almost like translucent energy just get ripped out of its body and into Momira, and some of her wounds begin to close, and the goblin shrieks out in pain, taking 3 more damage.
Alrighty. Wait a minute. Activate the ability on. I don't need that right now, actually. Okay. I'm just double checking whether something's an action or a bonus action. I'm good now. My turn's done.
Okay, Shoot a Boy's turn, and by Shoot a Boy's I mean also the fucking big boy. You guys can make, I would say, either religion or arcana checks of your choice when you observe this beast.
I'd
Do
say.
I want to know what this is in the eyes of God
Oh, well.
or in the eyes of me?
Big
I'll
thinkers.
do Arcana.
Sakar,
Oh,
you may also roll.
1 second. There we are.
Okay, Sakar and Matthias. This is a Barghest.
Ooh.
You know these creatures to be fiends that are basically almost like lichens, but they hate goblins. And they, you know, like those birds that like plant their eggs in other birds' nests and then make the other bird raise their kid while the other bird basically eats it out of its own?
Yeah.
It's like that. So this one must have reached maturity, but it was a large force, and it was just waiting for the right opportunity, so it struck at this moment.
Huh.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
you see its large claw, maw, jump out at another goblin, but the goblin holds up its like crossbow and like sticks it in the mouth, and it just like like it as it has it pinned open, and it just it's gonna use its bonus action to disengage, and then its action to run away because it is face to face with something that specifically is trying to kill it, and it runs away. These boys, however, are much braver and shoot it again. This one uses its bonus
Much
action to move
braver and
away, though.
arguably dumber.
Yeah, this one uses its bonus action to disengage just so that it's not a disadvantage to shoot it. Oh, smart, because he crit. What a man.
A little different.
Hello, little man. That creature takes another 10 points of damage. It is now just starting to show some wear and tear. Strong boy. Alright. And on Stabby Boy's turn, you see the warg-mounted goblins dismount off of their wargs around here, move up here, and they're heavy crossbows. They fire, and they get launched backwards because of the recoil. One at Mamira and the other at
Uh-oh.
Booker.
Uh-oh.
Mamira, that's a 5 to hit you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, someone roll a d20.
I'll do it.
Hey, has Vince rolled one of those yet?
I don't think I have.
Vince, roll it.
Alright.
Just misses Booker as it fires off. Oh, I need to look up some.
That was according to plan, I swear.
Tommy.
Tommy. I just casted shield without spending a spell slot. That's me.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to teach me how to do that.
It's kind of a thing that happens. It's a family thing.
And the warg uses its action to dash
Uh-oh.
right up to you. The other warg
Uh,
runs up here to you, Mamira,
uh-oh.
and it jumps out and bites you. Well, attempts
Uh-oh.
to bite you.
You know, see, about that. Never mind. Don't have the spell slot. Can't do it.
16 to hit.
That does in fact hit. Okay, so question about
Mhm.
my 1 amp that I got here. What
Yeah.
part of my action does it take?
What is the amp that you were talking about?
Siphon bolstering. When I take damage, I can transfer that essence that is
Yeah,
taken from
I'm
me into
just
an
finding it.
ally. I can heal an ally within 30 feet of me equal to the damage that I take.
Huh.
So,
Oh, that's when you Oh, okay. I didn't think about it in that way. That's interesting. Okay, cool.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a
what it
bonus
says.
action.
If that's not the way you want it to work, we can always say
Well, it's a
no.
bonus action because it's supposed to be like you're using the siphon to just do it. It's not a reaction to damage. It is a bonus
Okay,
action.
I couldn't read and see if it was a bonus action or a reaction. That's
It-
why I was kind of like,
It says
you know,
siphon
if it's a bonus action, then I
bolstering.
can't.
Siphon bolstering,
to-
when used, take 2 times max amp level and damage as a bonus action.
Okay,
You
there it
can
is.
use
Thank
this
you.
amp.
All right, never mind then.
All right.
I don't do that then.
All right. You do nothing. However, you do take.
I do take.
Ooh, this is a
Damage.
chunky amount of damage. If he didn't roll 2 nat ones, you take 5 points of piercing damage as its jaws
Chunky.
clamp onto you. Booker.
I'm
Oh, sorry. Shaman's turn. The shaman, she fucking starts chanting and moving her hands around, and the staff begins to twist and spin upwards. And then a fireball. No, I'm kidding.
Oh god.
She is going to. Who's been the most annoying? You hit her with a lot of fire damage, so she's mad at you. Ooh. She's gonna center a spell right here. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Awesome.
Great. This is my big fave.
Come on.
Okay.
Damn it. Only Booker fails. You watch as this like translucent energy just like waves over, and you see Booker's eyes start to spin with a rainbow sort of color as he is now confused. So Booker,
Oh, no.
go ahead and roll me confusion. Roll a 1d10. What'd you roll?
A 3. Not sure.
Drool begins to drip out of your mouth as you do nothing this turn.
Yay.
Sakar, it is your turn.
Since it is best that we take care of this man, and then I try to kill him. But, that's a 10 to hit, so yeah.
10 hits. Roll your damage.
Oh, it does. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, 2. It bursts off. Still kicking.
Dang.
Thunk. One of the wargs is gonna get shot at. Ooh, he hits. Vince, roll a d10 plus 1.
Me?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm letting you roll the guard's
Just making
damage.
Combat.
Yeah. You've missed a lot, so I'm just trying to let you do stuff. We try to keep everyone engaged in these long combats. It's hard to do, but we do our best.
Heck yeah.
Matthias.
Ah, okay. So, he's gonna sort of like, what did you call the dog creature again?
A
Larg.
Barghast.
Oh,
Barga.
Barghast.
The Barghast is in front of you. These are wargs.
Oh, okay. In that case, he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna take a note out of the Wargast's book. He's gonna try and, you see? He's going
Oh, are
to
you going to use the thing?
divide.
All right. That will hit. Go ahead.
Let's see, what is my spell save? It's 13.
Fails.
Yes.
You just.
I believe you have a bonus action.
Do I flourish this?
No, 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 no. For the other thing, look at your ability again.
Oh, hold on. Oh, is the bonus action the second half of it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
Start
So, Momira, you're the one who can see this. You watch as Matthias walks up and he opens his mouth, and as he does, his bottom jaw splits open, and you see down to the bottom of his neck a huge, like the skin flaps unfold as a giant maw is revealed, and he just clamps down on this goblin, and you watch the goblin just.
Spooktober, the character. Jesus Christ.
And then the goblin is swallowed, and you see it like as a lump in his stomach. Go ahead and roll your bite damage.
Stephen King's It had a son.
Yeah, holy shit, these are the fucking.
Oh, he's just barely alive, and
in
he's.
the stomach.
You hear the goblin.
Holy shit.
That's lunch sorted.
Mamira.
Sorted.
Hold on, I need to grapple from this for a fucking minute. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Welcome to my game where everyone gets a custom feat.
That's amazing. Holy shit, that's amazing. situations that I don't like taking. But that presents a problem with this class.
Well, not
Doing
really.
those
The
things.
siphon is a very safe option
It is.
where you just do damage.
But
and heal.
ooh, wait, but that's a ranged attack. Disadvantage. Fuck
If
me.
you
Okay,
hit the warg, but if you hit anyone else over here, they
No, because I'm thinking. Right.
that's not disadvantage.
That's not disadvantage. You're right.
They're not prone.
But here's the thing. I don't know how much that's gonna heal me. I was thinking forced attack on the warg to make him yeet the fuck out of my zone.
That's not how forced attack works. It's just an attack.
Oh, I can't make a move.
No. It's just an
Oh,
attack.
okay. That limits my options. Okay, now I know. Oh, that's why it's ranged, guys. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why you normally use it on the people with like crossbows and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, then I'm just gonna siphon then the shaman again.
Alright. You begin to conjure, rip the reality
Or
out
I
of her.
don't.
7.
I attempted to.
Oof. Unfortunately, it resists the effect, and you watch the goblin grit her teeth, and nothing happens.
Yikes. Okay. In that case, hold on. You only take this damage when activating, and then on subsequent turns, fuck me. Okay. Shit. Okay. Because the other amp I have is Essence Tunnel.
Yeah, but it requires a bonus action to do. So that's the.
I
that's
still
the
have a
kicker.
bonus action.
It's a bonus action to invoke it.
Yeah, no,
And
that's what I was reading. I'm
it's
like,
like a
okay,
rage.
so on subsequent turns, so I would have had to have prepped that the previous.
You
turn
could have done that
to
the
use
previous
it.
turn.
I
It's
could have, but
it's
I
a
didn't-
new.
I didn't-
Well, it's a new thing. I'll allow you to retroactively do it.
Okay, well, I'll
kind of a
take
thing.
the damage then.
Yeah,
for
you're
which
still
was
taking the damage,
2.
so it's not
I'm
like
still
I'm
taking the 2
losing any of
points.
it. So
Which, you know,
yeah, you watch as
good.
Mamira kind of like focuses in for a second, and there's just like whirring around her body as some like she coughs up a little blood.
I'm gonna go here.
And
That's
then
where I want to be.
she shimmers for a second and then appears in that space instantly afterwards. Just poofing, teleporting.
Okay.
And then you still have your movement.
I do still have my movement. I don't want to be too far from this, but I do not want to be close to this. That's the struggle right now, because most of my fucking shit is not a great range from here. 30 feet, blessed 30 feet of movement. Those of you playing at home,
Playing it home.
yeah, that's like not enough. But I'll be there anyways. Yeah. We'll
Oh,
go there.
also, note, Vince, whenever you use one of your flourishes, you use a bardic inspiration die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just for now.
Oh, I thought that's why he wasn't inspiring earlier. Was
Yeah,
his
because his
flourishes.
flourishes use his bardic inspiration die.
Okay.
So
I
both of
should've-
them use
oh,
it.
fuck me, I should totally not done this way, but that's where I am right now. Okay.
Okay. Shoot a boy's turn, and at the start of his turn, Vince, go ahead and roll 2d6 acid damage
Yeah.
as it boils in your stomach acid. Oh yeah, the goblin. And you watch as the lump just recedes.
Now does the third part of it kick in?
Roll a 1d1000.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, it's getting fancy.
1.
Okay. So you watch as the goblin is dissolved, and your teeth like chatter together. You have an additional 20 feet of movement until your next short or long rest. As you seem to just buzz with speed. Seem to buzz with speed. Speed
Speedy boy.
force.
Speedy boys.
This goblin. He shoot the Bargist. He miss. His friend also miss. But they start retreating. Yo. Stabby boys. There are no stabby boys. However, there's a few elites here. Oh, I forgot to make a concentration check for that shaman, which she fails. So Booker, you're no longer confused.
Nice.
Wow, I've been rolling like very nice for you guys tonight, which is a nice change of pace.
We really needed.
We indeed.
And you watch as she just puts her hands together like this, and then she raises her middle fingers at the bar guest, and it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. It fails. And you watch as she does that, two big goblin hands make middle fingers and then like clamp themselves around it, holding it in place. And she's just focusing on that there. Booker. Oh, sorry. My bad. Booker, you and Momira are both getting attacked as the two heavy crossbow boys have gotten up with half their movement from prone,
Oh no.
loaded in a giant bolt, and thunk, and then get pushed back another 5 feet
Oh no.
from the recoil. Momira, a 5 to
Fuck,
hit you.
I'm casting shield. Fuck me.
I am.
A
I
five.
am
Take the 2
doing
points.
same.
I'm gonna take the 2 points and I'm at a
I'm doing the same.
15, 16, 17,
All right.
18. I'm at an 18 AC.
Alright, it rolled an 8 to hit you.
I hate my
and
life.
Then Booker
An
is a
18.
20 to hit you. Oh, sorry, 19.
Does meet it beats it?
Yeah,
Because I did cast shield. Fuck.
sorry, buddy.
I'm gonna roll that one to turn it out.
That is first level spell. Oh, okay. Roll a d100. As you cast shield, the bubble around you gets shattered by the goblin, and in that moment of pain where you suffer 6 points of piercing damage,
What is this?
what is
What fresh hell is this?
What fresh hell is this?
I cast levitate on myself.
As this pain shoots through you, you scream out in pain, and then you just like float backwards, like the anti-gravity chamber. You're like,
Power.
Sakar.
Can I just say for a moment how I enjoy that Scar has his own little body fort here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways.
Fucking
Anyways.
It was just like, I'm gonna step outside the.
Wait, what about my turn?
Oh, my bad. Yes, continue.
Okay. How much damage did they do by shooting me?
He dealt 5 points of piercing damage. He rolled low.
Owie, my bones. What is levitate? Let me check that real quick.
You can move yourself 20 feet around.
Into the air?
Yeah, if you want. That's an action, though.
Oh, that is an action. Okay.
And you would take an attack of opportunity as you're floating up.
No.
Oh, the wargs were supposed to go.
Oh,
No
no.
retroactive turns are happening right now. It's okay. Continue. I'm just gonna move a warg or two.
I mean, one would bite me, but then you do roll a 19 to hit me.
Oh, it almost did. It rolled an 18.
Good. Getting those dividends from shit. I'm a misty step away.
You just... you go in a cloud of smoke and then reappear. Sakara, that is a 23 to hit you.
Just barely.
Oh, fuck. 8
Just-
points of piercing damage.
Just imagine I move 10 feet and then 20 feet into the air.
Okay.
Wait, no, that would be an action. So it's
Yep.
enough. Let me just teleport 30 over there.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Still don't get my Tides of Chaos back.
Yeah, you still haven't gotten that back.
And I'm gonna fucking. I've already cast a spell, so all I can do is firebolt this bitch right here.
Yikes.
I'm glad I'm away from my.
There's
allies.
not a ton of negative effects that can happen, so you can have Tides of Chaos back rolling.
Nice.
Since that one can't fuck you over, let's see if the Wild Magic table does. Or if it helps
Right.
you for the third time this fight. That's a firebolt.
That's a fire. Yeah, but
There it is.
58. I'm scared. Now I'm spooked. I've had it too good. For the next minute, any flammable object I touch that isn't being worn or carried by another creature bursts into flames.
You take a step and just the grass bursts into flames.
Does the fireball hit?
No.
Okay.
Well, because you nat one, and then, like, it was after the roll, so you didn't get to roll with advantage.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
But you now have it. Sakar, what were you doing on your turn?
I was gonna cast Firebolt, and I already hit the button to do it. And I rolled
Yeah,
a
yeah,
16 to hit and a 6 on the damage.
That on the shaman?
Yes.
You throw it out, and the shaman, which is, like, holding itself there, doesn't even notice as the fire, like, consumes it and burns it alive.
Nice. And I use my movement to move over to here.
Okay, you're going to take an attack of opportunity.
Yes, I am.
14.
That misses.
Okay. It snaps out at you, and you just dodge out of the way.
We
And
have some surprisingly high AC for all these casters here.
casters
I put a
normally do
15
have
in.
higher AC than most people.
I put a 15 in Dex.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You watch as the shaman is burned alive. The two little goblin hands that were containing the Barghast fade away.
Oh.
Guard
And,
turn.
and Kenku get a +1 to Dex, so I'm actually at 16 for my Dex. So
Nice.
my AC is actually
Some-
pretty decent for a caster.
Heck yeah,
What's your
man.
AC?
My AC is 16.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, how? Do you have armor, like medium armor?
Oh well, that's counting with mage armor, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
The guard. There's a goblin running away. I'm just Vince. Go ahead, roll the damage as he hits the goblin that is retreating.
Wait, where did these go? I don't see
He's
these.
dead.
Down near the bottom left, near the giant.
Near the Barghast.
And the wargs are like growling at him, and he just runs away.
I would, buddy.
Matthias.
Matthias is just gonna be like, he's gonna just run right at the wards with his newfound speed.
Okay.
Phew!
Not quite.
And he's going to stab the one that's
Okay.
above.
The slightly injured one.
There it is.
Pretty sure that hits. I'm like 90% positive that that hits.
Alright.
Oh, sorry. I lied, by the way. They are they're large.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
damn.
No,
boy.
gotta say no to this one.
Damn, boy. He's
Time to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Alright.
And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna use my slash and flourish.
Oh,
My bardic inspiration dice.
you swing your blade like an anime, just way too fast for any human, and you do an extra point of damage. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. And
Epic.
and any other creature within
Oh.
5 feet of me takes, the inspiration dice as well.
Oh, that other warg takes 1 damage. Cool shit. You just like, and it just like you see these tiny cuts just like bink, appear on the wargs, and they just like look inconvenienced. However, that initial stab fucked him up real hard, doing a lot of damage. Mamira.
Hey, so not doing great over here in Momoland. Not a great time. I have taken a bit of damage. You fuckers!
You're alive.
You're in range. You're alive and in range.
Get over here. Give me all
Fine, I'll do
energy.
the safe thing. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna move my 10 feet.
You teleport your 10 feet.
Teleport my 10 feet. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Teleport my 10 feet, and I'm gonna hit this motherfucker with some siphon.
Alright, roll it to hit.
You bitches are alive and in range, and I can't hit you.
The lifesteal option will never work.
It worked once.
Alright, the Barghast runs over in between the wargs with Matthias, just over here, and is gonna munch down on this warg. Just.
That was not the place I wanted to be standing.
This is not the place I thought we were gonna have in here.
Ah, fuck, and he misses. No more of those boys. However, the goblins with big guns reload. And then roll back. Momira and Booker.
Oh no. Oh no, oh jeez, oh fuck.
Anyone casting shield?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Alright,
a bad idea.
that was a 16 to hit you.
No, with shield it misses.
Alright, you bring up your hand and a crimson barrier of your own blood just appears and the crossbow bolt just reflects and shatters off of it.
That was a good choice.
'Twas. Booker! A 10. To hit.
Yeah, that fucking hits. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A 10?
No, I was kidding. Good
I'm
meme.
on 18 dex. How's that gonna hit me with a 10?
Booker.
Yes, man.
Ah. Scorch. Big thing. Big thing.
Thinkies.
I'm gonna just magic missile one of the guys.
3 missiles just shoot out. Roll a d20.
Yeah.
I've been rolling real low on those d20s too, which makes me happy. Amazing. Super duper. Okay.
Okay, let me roll the
Well,
other two.
he dies from all of them. Just bombarded and dies.
I'll
his-
use a sorcery point to
his
quicken
hilariously
and
large-
firebolt the other one.
His hilariously large gun falls to the ground to his side.
I'm firebolting the other one.
Do that.
I'm a Tides of Chaos this one.
Okay.
Schwung,
Hits.
schwung.
Okay. The fire licks across him, but he just stands steadfast, ready to shoot him.
And I will move.
Mm-hmm.
About yay here.
Shakar. Just duck behind the half-orc.
Right over here.
Yeah, buddy.
And I'm gonna reach out to this beast and cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh!
The bad touch!
Oh, that wasn't a lot to bad touch.
Can you use Favored by Demons again?
It's a short rest thing and I only get one of them.
High or low?
Hmm?
High or low?
Low.
That's low.
Nice.
So, the energy that Matthias is giving off kind of soaks into you, so you can use your Favored by Demons again.
Nice.
You're welcome.
All right,
So
that
this is
hits.
17 hits.
17 hits.
Then that thing takes 7 necrotic.
All right, and it just yelps in pain as it recoils from your dark energy.
That damage could have been better.
Could have been a lot better. Like, that's not even the average.
Yeah,
That's below average.
it's below average by quite a bit.
Guard turn. He shoot. Spionk. He miss. Matthias.
Alright, I think, yeah, I'm just gonna stab again.
Yep.
Just to, like, keep going at, like, the very injured work.
Got it. Step again. Useless lives up to his name, and you miss Momira.
Powerful.
It would only be funnier if that fucking was a hex blade packed to the blade.
Useless,
You
the
can't
hex blade weapon.
Useless, the hex blade weapon. Okay. This is like gotta be the last time I have to use shield, guys. Like, for real. Because, heck. I'm a hurtin'. But you, Mr. Bitchman, is still in range. And I'm a siphon.
Give me
I'm
your
attempting
ass.
to
favorite spell.
siphon.
My favorite spell.
Oh, it hits!
Yes!
Steal some health.
Nice.
Steal, 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 steal! Oh my god.
You suck up
What did
2
you
hit
get?
points
Oh,
out of this,
okay,
man.
okay, that makes
The hit points I took to cast shield, I got back. Guys.
Hey, he dies.
sense. Wow.
Thank you.
Good. Me using you as a meat shield inadvertently didn't need to be done.
Alright. The Barghast is gonna bite the warg and miss. And the warg is going... Both of the wargs are gonna bite the Barghast. And they both hit. Alright. Takes another 10 points of damage. Still looking good. No more stabby boys. No more crossbow boys. Booker.
It's me.
It's me.
It's me.
It is me, Booker, silent me.
Is there any way for me to get a warg and have the damage take without hitting Matthias? I don't think there is.
I'm on pretty good health, so I'll take a hit.
Ow. What are you hitting you with?
With what?
Ice knife.
I mean, you can hit it here. Like you can hit it here, and then it's just a 5-foot radius, right?
Yeah.
Because it takes up 2
Yeah, there's
spaces.
a way
It
to
would
do
hit
it.
it would hit the Barghast, but I mean,
I don't know if that thing's pissed at us.
yep.
Then maybe do it here and then do...
Oh yeah, or you could not hit the Barghast. Up to you.
If that's what you're looking to not hit the Barghast.
I'm looking to not hit the Barghast. I'm looking to just hit the wards.
Okay, you have
Like
advantage.
here.
Seeing your friend Matthias behind him, giving you
Oh.
an innate energy.
That's right.
10
I have
feet.
pack tactics. I don't even have to use my tactics.
You don't have your tactic yet.
Oh, that's right. I do not. Yeah, fucking ice knife. I want to hit both wards and not the Barghast. Well,
Well,
actually,
you-
no.
you-
Fuck it. I'll hit everybody.
That's my last tunnel.
You want to? How can you hit everybody?
I can aim it like here, hit Barghast. Oh yeah, I can just.
You can hit one warg.
Damn it.
Because the initial target has to hit something.
Yeah.
That's the thing about ice knife.
I mean, if you want to hit everyone, you can just hit the ground with the knife, and then have the cold damage be the thing that hits everybody.
That is true.
If you want to be an asshole.
You know what? I'll just hit. I'll just fucking magic missile this man right here.
Okay.
I roll my 1d20 first.
Yep. Okay, there was like a vortex of magic, and then it just like subsides as you cast your spell.
Justin is like, damn it. Booker's like, oh, oh, oh.
Because I am playing with the rules of that so fucking hard, and it's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
you are.
that warg's eyes are filled with arcane energy, and it dies. Bleh. Sakar.
Sakar reaches out his hand, and dark necrotic damage flies forth.
Oh god!
Holy shit!
The legend of inflict wounds carries on.
Bad
You
touch!
can't see me, but I'm furiously dabbing in the background.
See, I'll let you know. With the crit, you would have killed it outright, like at its max HP. So yeah, you reach out and you just grab it by the snout, and its snout begins to just decay to dust as its entire body is just rotted in an instant.
God,
I swear to
love
God,
it
if you do not
when
retitle this episode to YouTube called The Bad Touch in all caps.
I will not. Specifically because you told me to.
Damn it! Sorry, guys.
And it returns back to the earth. And that's what Sakar says.
the legend continues.
The legend lives on.
The legend.
All right. The Barghast just kind of like looks around to you all.
There are sleeping goblins. You could just go.
There are sleeping
Child.
goblins.
Well, yeah, but currently
this
you
guy?
are awake.
Uh-oh.
That guy.
That guy.
That guy.
This man here.
Oh!
Or these mans here.
Oh, he's dead.
This guy.
No, he's dead.
This guy is also dead.
I mean, he could have had a John Wick moment and just shot like 7 shots that he had saved up. He held his action.
Held his
like
action
9
for
actions.
7 turns.
You see that gun like auto aim?
This is my power. All I needed was the time.
It was just stone, dude. Lowering action. He's like, what?
What languages does Varga speak? Okay. It says in common, outwards.
Oh, what?
Yeah. He says outwards in common. Are you going to fight me?
Not if I can help it.
I'd rather not.
Good.
Could ask you a few things if you have.
Yeah, I'm rather curious, to be honest. I didn't know you spoke common.
If you will excuse me, are we ending initiative order right
Oh
now,
yeah,
or-
initiative order is done.
Okay. And then Scar kind of wanders up. If you will excuse me, there's cleaning up to do, and then he walks up to slit the throats of these sleeping goblins.
Yeah, as you go to slit the throat of one, you see one of the sleeping goblins to your right just get eviscerated as it just jumps on top, just screaming in infernal, and then it jumps up and kills this one as well.
Okay.
It basically just eviscerates the other of the goblins, and it just like coats itself in goblin blood and just starts eating one just whole. Just
Is the guard like that actual distance away?
yeah, he's staying there, and he's just shaking with his crossbow up, like pointing at the
Well-
Barghast, which by the way has taken like half standing on 2 legs, and it's just hunched over, just looking at you all, and just like
I'll
walking
wave
around.
to the half orc. Just kind of.
You can go.
He just just runs away, and you see the bodies of all of the merchants just dead, and the cart is currently upturned and on fire.
It appears we have a free cart.
We have a cart.
I'm not putting it that far.
I don't have the means to right now.
So, Mr. Barghast, is it?
I prefer the name Jahan.
Jahan. I have one question for you, and then.
Only one.
Well, I have only one question in general I need to ask. Do you know of wild magic? What is it?
Is that the
Well, what is it?
sorcery you're performing?
Indeed it is.
I don't know about that.
Very well.
I do know magics
Fine.
myself.
Fine,
Do you
be
know
boring.
what?
Go off and.
What did he say, Nick?
He says he knows magics of his own, but does not understand
Please.
what wild magic is.
I take out my book. Do tell.
Mimira takes out her own.
I'm not sharing my secrets.
Oh, unfortunate.
Keep yours.
And here I was. So
Keep
willing
your
to-
secrets.
Why
and
not?
I was so willing to share my own. Was hoping there was something we could learn from each other.
I don't care about your magic or your information.
And what do you care about?
The destruction of those vile creatures.
Goblins?
Yes. That is my purpose.
Your only purpose, then?
One of them.
One of many. Interesting. Is this your primary form?
Yes.
You will go around it.
No, I
Seems
can
useful.
become one of them to infiltrate their ranks.
Incredible.
You watch as his form shifts into the small goblin form you saw him in when he was here originally. Though you do notice now that he has like a slit in his eye. So like a very minor detail. But you now acknowledge it. And he walks over, he grabs the crossbow that he had originally and just lugs it over his shoulder.
Now that is useful magics.
Yeah, it's a bit of an innate thing.
Huh.
I was,
I wonder how that works, changing size so drastic.
you get used to it after a while.
Is it painful?
It was.
And now you've accustomed to it.
Yeah. Something like that.
Interesting.
So, what are you doing out here? You hunting goblins too?
As
While it
fun
is
as
a
that
good bit of
sounds.
sport, while it is a good bit of sport, no.
We
We're
are on
making
our
our way
way.
to Dalcori.
I don't know what a Delclorin is.
A city. Not far from here. About some days travel that direction. I point in the general direction.
You probably will find more goblins if you head that way. I put it like towards
They stalk the roads and prey of travelers.
basically to the roads and where I assume goblins would like to attack.
Good ambush points.
He smiles. You are powerful.
Thank you
He
for the
is.
compliment.
Allies. He like says with like a question mark.
We
Probable.
could be.
Kind of like chuckles to himself. And then he says, in abyssal, to anyone who understands it.
I understand the whistle.
I might.
I understand
I do.
the whistle.
I do.
I do not.
And he says, the stench of fiends is strong on this group.
It is not by choice, I respond in abyssal.
Kind of like smiles with like a weird grin whenever you respond in that tongue.
Well, you know what they say. Once you gaze into the abyss gazes back.
I don't actually know that they say that, but an interesting turn of phrase.
I've studied many things.
I can tell. You're smart. I like that. He kind of like thinks to himself, is there a way I can contact you outside of chance occurrences?
Does anybody have a sending stone here?
Nope.
No, I just have that illusion stone. We travel these roads often. Not maybe these particular ones. Sometimes we go safer. North of here is where we meet back often. On this northern road.
He looks around. Someone can make a charisma check with advantage.
Ooh,
Probably not me.
Ooh.
Who's
Me.
got positive? Who has positive charisma?
I got 3.
Oh.
I got plus 3.
I was gonna say
got
the
a
bard
plus
probably
4.
should.
Well,
I
Sakara.
have a +4, but
Sakara had already rolled.
Oh shit.
21.
Oh,
Pretty
well,
fucking
still
good.
though.
You see him like eye you all up, and then he reaches out a hand and he pulls out a scroll of sorts, and you see him cut his hand and inscribe a name in blood in abyssal, which is Zalsfirak Thrall. I'll spell it.
You want to spell that for the class?
Yeah.
I still have a feather beard. That's right.
Yeah, he just has this long beard of feathers.
I'm an old man. Old man.
And he says, if I'm able, and you need me, invoke blood and say my name, and I will come to you, summoned.
Well,
How does this work then?
It's
Is
magic,
the blood
I
itself
understand.
magic? Is
The name,
the scroll magic?
It's
the
in
name.
the
is
nature
magic.
of fiends. We all have names that are true to ourselves, bound to our very beings.
we must have made an impression on you then. For you to give us your real name like that.
I enjoy those who fight well, and you all seem very promising. I have a feeling you'll be getting into lots of dangers I want to be involved in the future.
Speaking of fiends, do you know anything of the Baron of Bloodshed? Apparently he's made his light.
I know the Underspire. That is my home, where I originate from. I know
Is the
nothing of
Underspire
Plains of
located in the
Madness.
Plains of Madness?
No, not that disgusting place.
Okay.
So it is.
I apologize if I meant any offense relating the two.
It's fine. Uneducated mortals always get them confused.
Then educate. Allow me to correct them. If I may.
Demons are chaotic creatures with no class. Devils come from the Underspire. We have systems, regulations, rules. We are just not out to sate our own bloodlust. Well, that is, unless we have a mission.
Such as these goblins.
Yes.
Interesting. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Be well. And you watch as an infernal door rips open, and he steps through it and teleports away.
Oh, well then takes notes and accounts of what she just learned.
Everyone make
The
Arcana
difference.
checks for the spell he just cast.
Oh, I still have.
Oh, come on.
I got a 9.
I know.
Damn, well, they're all pretty proficient in the magics.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
It's almost as if we're 4 spellcasters.
All that enjoy the knowledge of magic, like sorcerers who
Yeah.
still want to know what the fuck's happening with it. Matthias and Sakar. That was a dimension door spell. And Jahan, as he likes to be called, the Barghast, is no longer with you.
And then his real name, of which I'm assuming Momira is keeping, since, she spills blood of herself
Yeah.
a lot.
You don't know if you need to invoke the blood, but it's just something he said.
Yeah.
Like, if you say it out loud, you feel there's a power to the name as you say it.
Okay. So she will not practice saying it then. Okay.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to just go and say it. Oh, it does work. Nice.
Be mean.
Be
Hmm.
annoying.
Okay. I am weary from combat. And, Matthias, I'd like to speak with you when you have a moment.
Of course. That's gonna be sort of picking out some bits of goblin from his mouth.
Just like
Yeah.
like a tiny rapier he keeps in his pocket for the
No.
He's
occasion.
just using useless.
Okay.
Just the large fucking rapier. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
I
hit
just
me
kind of
anyway.
look over now, unconfused and able to see this. Oh yeah, what the fuck?
You didn't see it though.
I see it when I turn to him and he's picking things out.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, you only see like the top of his jaw, like his normal mouth, because he has just a normal mouth.
Yeah, fair.
But you see him picking goblin out of his teeth, and you're like,
What? When did that happen?
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I think we have several things to discuss. We all do.
All right.
Oh, who's first?
Ask
Okay.
away.
You guys travel for a bit more, and you like
Yeah,
bed
yeah,
down for
discuss.
camp, and now you
Or
can
I'm,
discuss
you
what
know,
you want.
Do we
Just
want to discuss it before bed? Because Momira will not discuss what she saw from Matthias until bed, in which case she will request that the two take watch together.
Sure. You two take watch together.
And then if Booker wanted to explain fucking wild magic shit happening, Momira was gonna ask about that during the travel to campsite. About the lightning. What spell was that?
Let's just say that I'm very well versed. Let's just say I have studied magic for a long time, and wild magic, as I explain it to myself, my theory is the forces of fate are conspiring with me,
Hmm.
and that fate itself.
So fate controls the
Guys.
surges of magic energy through.
You could say that,
Interesting.
or you could say some sort of higher power that isn't a god likes me.
So perhaps a demon like we. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, devil
Not a warlock.
like we had just spoke to.
Not a warlock.
Interesting. So we're eliminating things at least.
It's a more fundamental force, rather than a personified. Like fate. Unless there's a god to fate, in which case I probably wouldn't have said that. No? Then cool.
It's God's
Fate just
luck,
favors
but
others.
not fate.
Interesting. So that totally wasn't planned, it just kind of happened because fate dictated it happened.
That means it was
It
planned.
was, it was always planned. For us wild mages are the ones to weave fate to our liking.
That's why you were so panicked when the lightning struck. And you had to compensate it and say that you did indeed plan that.
Did you understand what I screamed?
No, because I'm pretty sure you said it in Draconic and Mumira does not in
Yes.
fact Draconic.
He said.
I said power. I screamed
Oh.
power.
Alright.
All
Interesting.
according to Kikaku.
According to K. Cocker.
So
Well, that'll be the end of that conversation then.
Sure.
If anyone else wants to say something.
Matthias, your ability, can you choose to do that at will, or is it not under your control?
Oh, I'd like to think that my own jaw is under my own control. In fact, I'm using it right now.
Wait, did Sakar see it too?
Well, actually, yeah, that's a good question. Did I see it?
no,
I was gonna
only
say, I
Mimira
thought-
because she had an angle to which she could see because Matthias's back was turned, and then he just like opened up its style, and then just like absorbed it. But you
Yeah, 'cause he
guys,
was, like,
you guys were
right
down
here, and then
further.
You guys were there, angled
Okay.
like that, but I was up here, so I could see it.
That's why I mentioned Mimira, not everyone else. I should have specified.
Alright,
Well,
well-
that's what I had thought you had said, but I don't know if I was remembering it correctly or something.
Okay, never mind then. Sorry.
I will ask, when the fuck did he eat a goblin?
That is a very good question.
Oh, like in character?
Yeah, in characters. Like, when the fuck did he eat a goblin?
Well, I took a bit of a lesson from the warp gas. You know, sometimes you gotta be creative when your own rapier decides not to work.
Pretty sure it's more your arm than the sword itself, since the sword is still sharp enough to cut.
He's gonna sort of like move his arm around. No, my arm works perfectly fine.
How did you eat him? I didn't see you sit down with like a fork or something.
Well,
You could have. I don't know. Maybe I didn't catch it.
it's talents and lineage. It's a very, very long.
I mean, anyone can technically take a bite out of anything.
Well,
It just takes a certain kind of savagery. Which is ironic, considering.
goblins.
Yeah. And the Barghast, I suppose.
Well,
Alrighty. So the watch goes, and Matthias and Momira. As you're like getting ready for your watch, Booker, you get Tides of Chaos back. Roll on the wild shades table.
oh, hell
Booker
yeah.
just
Right before
begins to
I could-
spark and.
I make sure to keep my distance.
You don't know this.
Oh, fair enough. I just thought I saw the sparks and.
I am surrounded by faint ethereal music for
Alright.
the next minute.
This is amazing. So
You have your
you
fanfare.
all just hear music, like very calming, like lullaby music, start to radiate around
I say in my sleep,
Booker.
all according to plan.
while he drifts off to sleep. And you two are alone.
Let me see your jaw. I want to see how it opens.
Well,
No.
nice.
Don't. I know it opens more so than the hinge it attaches to. I saw it.
Nice. Gonna slightly open it. He's gonna maybe reveal some of the bottom.
Mumira will, in this case, invading body space and kind of take the two sides of it and try to open it further.
These are very, very sharp teeth.
I'm not afraid of spilling blood.
You take 7 points of piercing damage as
Oof, okay, I'm still
your
alive, we're
hands
good.
are like ripped open when you try to grab his jaw and pull it open further, and you're not able to force it just as much as he wants to open it. You can.
Flex her hands as they're bleeding. They open further than that.
They do. But
Which she's like looking a little in disgust as you're talking with 3 jaws. Just
Yep,
okay.
flawlessly. His words aren't distorted or garbled or anything. Just
That's a
talks normal.
disturbing image.
well, I've had it since the day I was born, so I got used to it pretty quickly.
So, like, is it still attached at the sides then? Or how big can it open?
Not that far. Maybe enough to swallow something like a goblin, but I won't be
That's-
eating people anytime soon.
Oh. Would have been curious to ask what they taste like. What does goblin taste like?
Very disgusting. And like dirt. And mud.
Were you sure that's not the dirt and mud on their skin? I meant more like the meat.
I'm pretty sure they've been wallowing it in that long, that's all that's left.
Have you eaten other things before?
Sometimes.
Other than goblin? Like what?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I vividly remember eating gnome.
What does gnome taste like?
Light. And oddly flavorless.
Really? How does it differ from, say, cattle?
Oh. When you eat cattle, it's very rich. When you've
Mhm.
eaten very raw, uncooked flesh like that of a gnome, it just tastes bland, bloodied. But it can be quite fun. Flesh shred apart. It's gonna give her like another slightly fiendish grin, just like blood on his teeth and stuff as he mentions it.
With the split jaw still, I imagine. Interesting. So, only gnome and goblin then have you adventured outside, though? Like birds? Or
Yes.
raccoon? Or, I don't know. What else?
I will admit I'm not able to use it that often. So, I'm sure you can guess, if I just used it to casually eat everything in sight, I wouldn't very quickly remain much of a secret in terms of what these teeth
Oh,
are. And,
You do
Well,
wish to
technically-
keep a secret then?
well, from most of the populace, as you can already tell by shows us purple skin, tiefling and stuff. So like, by what I am, I'm sure they're already suspicious. Most of the
What do you mean by that?
Well, I would say that, especially amongst some of the more superstitious people, they aren't a fan of anything that looks strange or different. So,
Why would that
especially-
be?
Well,
What superstition would be related to those who don't look like, well, I mean, what is normally then what would be standard to meaning looking different?
tiefling's supposed to be common.
No, Momira's just like this.
He's just gonna take a.
She's not a very old half-orc. She would have. She's like 18, 19-ish. Would have only recently gone into adulthood.
Well, I guess Matthias is gonna sort of lean back a bit at thinking. He's like, I'm sure you'll find out as soon as we hit our destination. Even without showing this jaw, we'll probably see
Well, I know.
unwanted looks.
Well, I know Kenku and kobolds are not as often in civilized society, but bigger creatures, those who hold the stature akin to elves and dwarves and humans, are they... They're not as different, though. How different does different have to be
Well,
before people start being superstitious?
I would say, perhaps not entirely how different it looks, but maybe perhaps more common it is. And I definitely do not look common. Neither does most of our other companions.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I quite understand, but this is something to think on.
He's gonna, like, push his jaw, like, sort of covering it back up, back into place, as you can maybe hear.
And she'll try to see where she can tell if the jaw, like if it's if there's like a seam, they're clipped in together.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Jeez. Okay.
Nope. Just normal mouth.
How does it seal back up?
Oh, I've looked back into my own mouth. I've,
Have you done it like while looking into a mirror?
oh,
Like
No.
just kind of see how it closes up and.
I
Like, does
don't-
it reattach via magic, and is that magic just kind of innately within you, like your abilities as a bard?
Oh, I'm fairly certain it's all natural. It seems to just click into place. So, whenever I look into a mirror, all I can see is the too many teeth. Hard to see anything beyond that.
Maybe you aren't looking.
Maybe one day, I'll let you have a look inside. If you can find a mirror.
Would it be big enough to fit my head in so I could see in? Or would I have to maintain cuts across my face? Not, again, I'm not really afraid of bleeding or getting hurt. But just Good to be prepared.
He gives a slight laugh as so just like thinks about that. It's like you'd be quite literally putting your head into the wrong beast.
Wouldn't be the first time, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that applies to. But it would be interesting to see. Because it unhinges like that. Because it's kind of... Because it doesn't unhinge like a snake's jaw. Right, it just separates out.
What I can tell, it just
Since
drops.
you're still able to speak, it doesn't just unhinge and unhook. I'll have to think about it.
Oh, it's, before Matthias sort of leaves, he just sort of speaks very quietly, so sort of just try to keep the details very quiet, per se. Not too many people should probably know about this.
Of course. Of course. Your secret's safe with me. Why do you think I waited to ask?
All right.
Although if
So-
you do plan on doing that again around the rest of us, you might want... I've come clean with my abilities, even though it's not wise of me to share these. They're not exactly well appreciated among academic circles.
Dice is just gonna give a slight grin. He's like, oh, there's not much of a secret to it. It's an extra big job. I'm sure they'll notice eventually.
It's still better to tell than have them find out, because then you'll get the same treatment, and they might not be as polite.
Oh, perhaps tomorrow.
On your own time, just a thought.
I will think about it.
Suppose we have a bit to think on. Alrighty.
All right. And as you all head to bed, Booker and Sakar wake up, do their watch, unless you guys have anything you want to talk about.
I mean, I don't have any like pressing topics.
No
to discuss.
specific things, but you chat like friends do.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And you all make your way, and you see the walls of Dalcorn. It's been a few days, but nothing else really exciting happens.
Alrighty then.
And you
Smell of
see
the city.
the large marble walls of Dalcorn. And you see the large silver spire in the center of the city. You see now. Make perception checks, I should say, before I tell you that you see anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the duality. Yeah, totally. Okay, Matthias, you're the only one who sees this. As flying out of the city and southwards, yet again, is a large, you'd say probably 16 foot tall at this distance, roughly, with large white wings, white feathered wings that come out of its back, and its skin is a like brass color as it flies southwards, moving extremely quickly.
Matthias is just gonna sort of, it's gonna offhandedly look at me. She's like, not sure what that was. Sort of
What?
some sort of creature. It's very undescribable. Maybe a few distinct. I think I saw.
They were just white feathered wings.
They were white feathered wings, like that of an angel, I think. But I'm pretty sure angels don't fly about in the middle of wherever we're going.
Not unless something's fucked.
I think that was our friend from back home.
Friend from back home had black wings.
Was it black?
Well,
don't
you
know, I
couldn't
never saw
see
it.
the color
Oh.
because it was like veiled by the shade.
Oh, okay.
What direction were they headed?
South.
South.
I think it's just gonna point. Just gonna point the direction you saw it.
Guys,
That
do you
way.
see like a figure fading into the distance?
Is that towards Advencia?
Yes.
No,
Or it is
going
towards
right
our
towards
destination?
right towards home.
Oh, that's right. You're from Advencia. Forgot about
Yes,
that.
I am.
You also see at this point a floating tower just starting to make its way across the sky as well.
From
Uh,
Dalcorin?
No, it's floating from like where Alistar would be.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know this as the floating towers of Alistar. So one of the archmages of the city is traveling. And he is taking his tower with him.
Huh.
They just never leave. So,
Perhaps it has to do with this Baron of Bloodshed. Has everyone spooked?
something's really fucked with that.
Perhaps.
And as you guys enter the city, you see like tens of town criers. There's normally like a few on street corners, but they are everywhere. And they're all repeating the same thing. War has begun. Cargill has been destroyed. Few, if any, survivors. An invasion and peace is broken. And that is where we're going to end session for tonight.
Heck, alright.
Alright.
All right.
Pretty intense ending
Shit
there.
really is fucked.
Thank you,
Indeed.
everyone, so much for watching. And until next time, let the good